Hello friends, it's me, Rhea Peterson. How's it going? I have a lot to do in this video. We just finished dealing with a stomach bug in our house. All three of my kids were hit. Mercifully, Connor and I were spared, but I always like to get everything cleaned and sanitized after something like this happens. It gives me peace of mind. So I am starting off. Once I knew we were in the clear, I'm getting the boys' beds stripped. Alice was the first one, and so her room's already done, but the boys were the last ones. So I'm going to get their bedding stripped off their beds and cleaned, and I have tons of other things that I want to get done, and there were some twists and turns in this one, but I am stripping off their bedding. I do like these beddies. They're pretty handy and really easy to put on and off, but I do need a lot of time to make sure that they all get clean and dry. So I'm going to get everything stripped, and then I am going to clean the carpet in the boys' room, and I don't think I need to explain why. Connor did a preliminary cleaning the night before, and now I am going to finish it up. So I'm going to keep getting the bed stripped and get that all started, and then I'm going to start clearing out their room to clean their carpet. Let me know in the comments if you're cleaning with me or if you're just here to hang out. I would love for you to say hi. Once I got the bedding going, I decided I was just going to pull out everything that I needed to clean the bathrooms with while I was in there, so they were all ready. It was on my mind, and so I thought I might as well just get it all out and be ready, because that is where I'm headed next after I finish up in the boys' room. And I had to make sure that I had all of the sanitizing items out and ready to go. And then once I was back in their room, I am clearing off their nightstands. They read every night, and all the books end up piled up in there. But I wanted to move the nightstands out of the room because I need to adjust their carpet. The placement's just a little odd. And it's been wrinkling a lot, and I thought it was just the placement, but then after some research I realized I need to get a carpet pad, which did not occur to me, but I have educated myself, so they will be getting a carpet pad here in the future, but until then, it is what it is. I am moving their bed frames and mattresses out of the way. They're not crazy heavy. This wasn't a big deal. Their bed frames especially are pretty light, but I wanted to get them out of the way, and I'm going to carry the nightstands out and then finally clean the carpet. I went back and forth on which carpet cleaner of mine I was going to use. I have a big one, and then I have just like a little spot treater, but because the spots were spread out a bit, I opted for the big one, but I did want to just give some of the harder stains a little bit more attention. So I just took a toothbrush that I keep in my cleaning supplies. It's really handy, but I just used it to kind of work the solution in a little bit more, and it did work. It helped a lot in getting the stains out. I did change my shirt after dumping out the carpet cleaner water. But now I am going to get the room back together and move on to the bathroom. It'll be a little while before I can completely finish their room and make their beds, but I did want to have their room somewhat put back together so that they could lay down if they wanted to. There's Mr. Callum. He's feeling better. He's hitting the bed. He's not like crying or anything, but he wanted to come and lay on his bed. He was really glad that everything was much cleaner in there. But now I am in the bathroom, obviously. I'm going to sanitize all of the toys. I do this pretty frequently anyways, but I felt like it was probably a good idea to include this in the full clean and sanitize of my house. So I'm just spraying it with a Clorox spray and water so it's more diluted, and I'm getting everything else pulled out, and I'm just gonna scrub the bathroom. This was supposed to not take very long, but then I ran into a little bit of an issue with one of their sinks, which you will see shortly.
Oh no. Oh, that's so yucky. Oh gosh. Okay. Well, that's the day it is. Fantastic.
I consider myself a relatively clean person, but I don't know what happened there. I just put a little bit of Dawn dish soap. I keep it in my laundry room. It's just because it's really handy with like grease and stains and things like that. But I just put a little bit of that in some water, and now I'm just kind of going at it. I don't know what happened. None of my other drains are like this, but this one just had like this caked on buildup. I don't know if something got poured in there, like one of my kids was experimenting with dirt and I didn't catch it. But my goodness. And like I said, I scrubbed my hands and was working with bleach and antibacterial, but I recognize I probably should have worn gloves while I was doing that, but I was in it at that time and I did not want to go downstairs to grab gloves. But I did get everything scrubbed out. Look, little Rubbermaid. He really took one for the team this time. That must have been rough for the Rubbermaid scrubber. That thing's a champion, and I'm also really glad that you can get replacement heads for it. I was able to get everything put back together. I tried to keep my kids out, but I did need somebody to let me know if it was moving, so Cal came in just for a second. I am getting everything else cleaned up. That took a while. It took like an extra 30 minutes to get it all cleaned out and then put it back together. I'm not a plumber, and I know it's easy, but ours are weird. I am using my big giant scrubber. I love this thing, and it has the lengthening attachment, which is super handy, you know, especially with cleaning and scrubbing, your back gets tired. So this was really nice to kind of take a little break, especially after climbing under the sink. I mean, I am going to hunch over to spray off all of the toys, but it was nice to have just a little bit of a break in between being under the sink and now spraying off all the toys and cleaning toilets.
To the good days.
I did switch out my microfiber cloths for some disposable sanitizing wipes. I'm using the Method ones. I just figured it would probably be smarter given the nature of what I was doing to be using disposable wipes. And I don't know why I didn't just start with them, but I'm out of habit, I grabbed the microfiber cloths. I'm just finishing up wiping out the disgusting sink and making sure that I actually put it back together right. And I did. I'm very proud of myself. And then I'm just going to kind of finish up by wiping off all the knobs and cleaning up the floors. And then I'm going to go switch over the bedding.
You start to get dressed and then we cry, 'cause we both know it's gonna hurt, but not as much as this does. We had a good run, don't say we didn't. I was your first love, and you were my first one. Cheers to all the memories, the venom and the remedies, yeah. Promise I won't forget, yeah. Maybe it's something in the water, yeah. Or maybe we just hit the end of the road, yeah. Right now it doesn't even matter, yeah. It's too late not to let it go. And that's why I wish you the best and say goodbye. To get dressed and then we cry.
Okay, so I've got the bedding switched over. Callum's had been put in the night before, so I only had to get that one dry. But I still had some pillowcases and stuff that needed to be washed. And now I'm washing all of the things that I used to clean out the disgusting sink. Has that ever happened to you where you were operating as if things were mostly clean and then you discovered that they were not clean in any way? Because that sink was so gross. And I always check down in the drain and like try to get a good look at it. But man, this one, if it wasn't just my kids doing something they shouldn't have been doing, like this one really just crept up on me. And now I'm wondering what's happening in the rest of my sinks that I can't see. So I might need to just do a whole sink clean out pretty soon.
'Cause we both know it's gonna hurt, but not as much as this does. So baby, bye.
One thing that I do pretty regularly, but especially once we've had something kind of go through our house like a stomach bug, is sanitize my toilet bowls. And I'm using the Clorox toilet wands right now, and their instructions say to scrub it and leave it for 10 minutes. So that's what I'm doing when I'm setting the wand in the bowl and closing it, is I'm letting it sit for 10 minutes. I'm setting a timer on my watch, and then I'm just cleaning while I wait for that to be ready to be scrubbed out. On all of the glass, I am using the Thieves cleaner. I really do like this stuff. I think it does a good job. And then I'm just going to wipe down everything with the sanitizing wipes. And I had a little extra time, so I took advantage, and I am going to clean the glass on my shower. I had just recently scrubbed the grout in there and cleaned the glass, but you can never clean the glass too many times because my kids will get in there and like put their hands on it. So I am just going to get that cleaned as well while I wait for the toilet to finish up.
You remember I asked you to meet in the middle. Now I'm here all alone again. You remember I call you. You were talking in riddles. Now you're lying to me again. You think I'm going crazy, but I'm not missing you. I only miss the illusion you pretended to be. I'm not acting crazy, I just said we're through. Baby, you gave a lot. What about trust? What about all this time you looked in my eyes, babe? What about commitment? What about all the empty promises? Oh, what about? Oh, what about? Trust. How could I be so stupid when I got all the signs? I guess that is love. Yeah. Now the red flags are lucid, and I know that I'll be fine. I guess that is
Okay, now I am taking care of all of the toys that I had cleaned earlier. I was just kind of letting them dry a little bit. I'm swapping out all of the towels. It was time to swap them out anyways, but I especially wanted to get nice clean towels in once the worst was over so that we weren't spreading anything else that we shouldn't. This is my kids' playroom. It's also where we watch like movies together as a family. I would normally have my kids help me clean up, but because they'd been sick, I just decided to do it for them. Alice was feeling better. She'd got hit first, so she was recovered for the most part, but she was off helping her brothers feel better, and I didn't want to pull her away. So I am getting all of their toys cleaned up. I want to get the floors vacuumed, and I'm going to vacuum the couch. I toyed with washing all of the covers and everything, but like the stomach bug, it wasn't that bad. And so I just opted to vacuum it. I can go pretty hard. Like, we don't get sick a ton. I'm not afraid of being sick. It's just, I like knowing that it's gone once it's all over. And so it's a peace of mind thing, getting all of this done. Some might think that it's just a lot and I should spread it out over a few days, but once I get in it and I get going, I just want to get it done. And honestly, I was taking advantage of my kids still being a bit tired. Like, I'm checking on them frequently. I'm making sure they have what they need. I'll take breaks and be with them. But they're in one place, they're resting, they're relaxed, they're not fighting, they're just kind of stationary. So I wanted to take advantage of that as much as I could. So this was a pretty exhausting day going back and forth and trying to get all of this done. But I am really glad that I took the time to do all of this because, again, like I said, peace of mind, and especially after you've been sick, like, it's nice. Like, my kids were happy that everything was cleaned and tidied, and they, they'll tell me, "Oh, I love the vacuum lines, and I thank you for washing my bedding." So it's also kind of an act of service for me to keep things tidy for my family, especially when they haven't been feeling well.
It's not ready. Under neon bright lights when I see you dancing on the Polaroids. Just wanna have a good time, don't you? It all goes slow, low, low. I don't wanna talk before the moment slowly slips away. Get a little dirty, baby, nothing you ain't gonna take, yeah. Fire burning like I do under my tattoos. There's a remedy, 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 yeah. And the way you go, baby, don't you know? There's a remedy, 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 yeah. Dressed in cigarette smoke, is it the print you wanna leave behind? Get all those cold eyes cold looking, but saying bye, bye, bye. I don't wanna talk before the moment slowly slips away. Get a little dirty, baby, nothing you ain't gonna take, yeah. Fire burning like I do under my tattoos. There's a remedy, 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 yeah. And the way you go, baby, don't.
So I am just finishing vacuuming upstairs, and the bedding is actually almost dry. So once I'm done vacuuming, I'm going to get the bedding put back on my boy's bed, but then I'm done with upstairs. It feels like it's taken forever to get it all done, but that's kind of where most of the action was. So I knew it would take a while, but once I'm done vacuuming, I'm going to put the boys' room back together, and then I am headed downstairs.
I'm gonna do that, darling Palooza. Ain't gonna lose ya. Was it hot for you, baby love? Hot for you, baby love. Hot for you, baby love. Hot, 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 hot for you, baby love. Hot for you, baby love. Yeah, yeah. Hot for you, baby love. Hot for you, baby love. Hot for you, baby love. Hot, 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 hot for you, baby love. Hot for you, baby love. Yeah, yeah. Fire burning like I do under my tattoos. There's a remedy.
Hugo was very glad to have his bed back. But now we're downstairs. The kitchen has been neglected while we've been dealing with everything else. So it's going to take a little bit more time, but I feel like the kitchen always seems to take the longest. I do need to wash the bowls. They have been the unsung heroes of the stomach virus, so I want to give them the attention that they deserve. I am getting the dishwasher unloaded. I'm going to make sure I have all of the dishes. I do this all the time where I get it all done and I'm ready to move on, and then I look over and I see another dish, or I find one in the living room. It just drives me crazy. Does that happen to you? Sometimes I try to really just search everywhere before I finish loading the dishwasher, because I always get really annoyed when I have to keep going back to it. But this time I took the time and I scanned the whole house before I finished doing the dishwasher. And I think I do still find a bowl when I'm vacuuming.
I'm going out with you tonight. Are you close to here?
Are you a packet neatly and organized dishwasher person, or are you I'm going to fit as much as humanly possible in that dishwasher, despite the fact that it's probably not going to get cleaned? Because I'm the latter. I will put as much as I can in there, and I often have to rewash things, but I never learn. Connor's the opposite. He's so good at packing. He's like human Tetris. If you travel, you want him packing your car. When you go camping, anything, he's so good at packing things. And I live on the edge. I am chaotic, and he is order when it comes to packing things. Which are you? Let me know in the comments.
I'm feeling down.
And just to be clear, I did use the power paste on my skillet. It had some staining from what I'd made the night before, and I find that the power paste does a really good job of getting the stains out of the ceramic. I know that people with white sinks have used it. I find it's very similar to Barkeeper's Friend, but I had the paste handy. I do like to clean out whatever I used it on with some dish soap though, just to get any leftover film or residue. It just kind of leaves a grainy residue sometimes, and so I just have started using soap to clean it out. But that stuff works really good on the stains in the ceramic. I really like it.
We don't need to go that fast. I need this night to last. Slow it down. Slow it down. Slow it down. Slow it down. Baby, you're so hasty.
So I plant a garden every year, and there's always something that I end up having just in crazy abundance. And this year it was cucumbers, and I didn't think they were going to survive. I planted 2 plants in hopes that I would get one, and that's what happened. The other one died, unfortunately, but this one has been the most abundant cucumber plant I have ever planted, and I'm drowning in cucumbers. And we all love cucumbers in my house. They're getting eaten, but my gosh, this plant has really just gone nuts in my backyard. I'm not complaining though. Like I said, I do really love cucumbers, but I'm going to keep cleaning up the kitchen, get everything finished in there and in the kitchen nook. And if you're cleaning with me, that is great. Let me know in the comments what you're cleaning. I love hearing from you guys, but let's just listen to some music, get some stuff done, and we will meet back in the living room.
We're on a journey, looking back on the things that we've taken for granted, but feels like we're learning to be better without what's been holding us back now. Let's move closer to a new history, find out what we can be together. Take my hand and we will conquer the world. This is our final chance. Choose right from wrong. We found the strength to go on together. To go on together. Yeah. To go on together. dancing closely together and staying forever young. What about you and I then? Can we two find a way to align with each other? Let's move closer to a new history. Find out what we can be together. Take my hand and we will conquer the world. This is our final chance. 'Cause one day we'll be looking back at this. We were in a big mess together. But we found a way to choose right from wrong. We found the strength to go on together. To go on together. Yeah. To go on together. To go on
It feels so good to have the kitchen back in order after it being so messy for the last few days. I am in the living room getting everything pulled off of the couch. My kids spent a lot of time on the couch while they were recovering, eating lots of saltines, and they did their best to kind of eat over their little snack bowls, but they're kids and there's saltine crumbs all over the couch. So I am going to make sure that it is very thoroughly vacuumed. I'm not going to pull the couch cushions up though. Again, under the couch cushions doesn't exist today. That is for future Rhea to deal with.
Keep talking forever, then I don't get where this thing goes. So sick of waiting for nothing, when all I want is to hold you close. And all my stupid friends try to bring me to my senses, but I'd rather be illogical. But calling you, I can't let go. We had our chances to patch things up again, and I can't believe that you let it slip somehow. So I get a little drunk on a Friday night with my friends, staying up all night so I don't just lay and think about you. It's okay, but I'm all messed up. Don't know what to
I did just change all of our stuff downstairs into kind of a fall vibe. That video is actually up already. I'll link it in the iCards, but I wanted to get everything kind of changed over, kind of an early fall transition. No pumpkins or leaves or anything yet, just bringing in warm tones, and I'm loving it. The leaves on some of the trees in my backyard are changing, and I feel kind of justified in doing the fall change, but it has been so cozy in my house with all of the nice warm tones that I have going on, and I am just loving it. Are you an early transition person? Do you put decor up for the different seasons? Let me know.
Monday night by myself, staying up all night so I don't just lay and think about you. It's okay, but I'm all messed up. Don't know what to do to forget about you. So I get,
I do want to take a moment to address my hair. It is slightly curly, and anytime like I get overheated when it's exceptionally humid here in Oregon, it is just untamable. And that is what has happened. So I know how to do my hair. Just it was not going to be done today. It had a mind of its own, but we are almost done. All we have left is the powder bathroom, and then we can call it a day.
so I get a little drunk on a Tuesday night. Call my friends, staying up all night so I don't just lay and think about you. It's okay, but I'm all messed up. Don't know what to do to forget about you. So I get a little drunk on a Friday night with my friends, staying up all night so I don't just lay and think about you. It's okay, but I'm all messed up. Don't know into my life. Such a magic feeling when you tore down my walls. I wish I could go back to right before you told me I'd try to change it all. But look at us now, we could have gone so far. It hurts to realize we're parted. Yeah, look at us now, this is who we are. And I just know things will never be the same. We're like strangers again.
Okay, well, that is all that I have for you today. I really appreciate you being here, especially if you have made it this far. If you aren't already, please consider liking and subscribing. But otherwise, I will see you next time. Bye.
Again, I thought we'd never fall. Could have tried much harder.